y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow. Got another one here for you, man. I'm trying to say what's up to everybody here.
Yeah, boy, you a fella. I say you got me, man. That's what I'm saying.
Your boy Tim Snow. Takes for the story family. Salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow. Takes for the story family. Salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow.
Takes Prison Story family. Salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Salute to everybody in the chat. When you're watching this, make sure you double tap the screen for me. Let's get them likes up. Drop your location in the chat for me, and we're going to get this started in a minute. I was actually going to do a play-by-play reaction video to SPM's response, but I watched it a couple times, and I just couldn't do it, right? Because one thing about this case, one thing about this diaper sniper, this bicycle seat sniffer, one thing about this dude is his fans are fanatical. They will come after you. They will attack you. They will troll you. Man, I've gotten physical threats on my life, all kind of stuff about this, right? I mean, it gets really serious. I'm 6 foot tall, down to about 215 right now. Been working out real hard. I'm not no little dude, right? I don't worry about it. I grew up in the streets, lifelong gang member. Last thing in the world I'm worried about is a pedophile fan, right? That's not even on my day-to-day mental. But what they did right here was a little bit crazy, y'all. Although this is public record, yes indeed, it's never been released like this per se that I know, in this manner, with such a accusatory tone. So, I said, you know what? I'm not going to react play by play for the video. I'm just going to give my opinion because I know a lot of people were waiting on me to do this, right? So here we go. The video response is in response to the interview that Juan Gotti did on that California channel. Okay. I myself did the reaction video to that interview. It's titled Juan Gotti Drops a Bombshell on the SPM Case. All right. And he did. He dropped several of them. In that interview, Juan Gotti admitted to personally seeing SPM with young girls. Okay. So that, to my knowledge, was his first time just coming out on a bigger platform and saying, yes, man, I was with him while he was doing it. Okay. To me, I thought it was crazy because that's what guilty by association gonna make you look bad, right? I see why he didn't want to admit that for 20-some years, but the fact that he did come out and admit it was one of the bombshells. The next bombshell that Juan Gotti dropped was the allegation of SPM catching the rape charge in the rehab, okay? So nobody had really heard about that I know about. Nothing that I read about, nothing about the bond revocation, nothing said that. Those were Juan Gotti's words, right? And you have to take him as a credible source, you would hope, being that he's one of the man's best friends for all those years. So we don't know. So the video started with SPM basically humiliating Juan Gotti. They go in about how he posted, that SPM's dead in a cell. They come on with SPM's daughter showing some screenshots between that Carolyn posted, he responded back, and then that one. Okay, so that's how it starts. Then SPM goes on talking about him and Juan Gotti talked on the phone, that he said, Juan Gotti said he told SPM that he posted he was dead because he wanted people to feel what it would be like not to have him. Right? Now, that was some of the best game I heard. Juan Gotti, I'm going to give you some credit, boy. Somebody probably helped you come up with that. But it's still ridiculous, right? That is ridiculous to post that he passed away. So Juan Gotti goes in saying how the fans have been attacking him, and that's affecting his life. It's making his wife cry. All this old crazy stuff, right? Like he can't stand the pressure, basically, is what's happening. And go back to what I said about them saying those women's names. If Juan Gotti thinks he was getting pressure, wait till people start getting into these girls' lives, right? It's going to be really bad, and they know what they were doing. They did this on purpose. So he goes in about the Juan Gotti thing, And then he starts talking about the rehab. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what kind of rehab he was in. He just said he was in a drug rehab. Okay. He said he tested positive for cocaine, so the judge put him in a mandatory drug rehab as part of his bond. Well, he then said that the conspiracy by the district attorney and all this is where it gets crazy. And I'm gonna tell you what, this don't make no sense. The entire response video, everything that they read in the paperwork, the this is literally court transcript, and their interpretation of it is ludicrous, right? And I feel bad for his daughter being caught up in all this, man, because somebody can see right through this, okay? The theory that they're pushing is there was a 19-year-old stripper. The 19-year-old stripper, clearly there's a police detective that said it. The 19-year-old stripper sold this undercover narcotics agency some narcotics right there in the strip club. They named the strip club Rick's Strip Club on 45. Okay. While she's selling him these narcotics, she also introduces this officer to South Park Mexican who's sitting in the club next to him. Right? They specifically point out this fact. The relevance of him and this officer sitting next to each other, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're implying that they were watching SPM to see if he was doing some kind of narcotics activity. I have no idea. The dude said it was literally just a random drug investigation he was buying from multiple strippers that night. That sounds more realistic to me. Okay. Well, the theory is that they're pushing is that the young girl that went to the room to have SCX with SPM, all of it was instigated. Everything was a police setup. It was undercover cop activity and all of this, right? But I'm fixing to give you another theory. I'm going to give you a more realistic theory because none of that made no sense because don't even believe. Listen what I'm fixing to say. Somebody that's a police officer or some type of legal experts, drop in the comments and let me know. Is it even legal for the police to use a 14-year-old child in some type of undercover in a sexual investigation and putting her into that predicament? Because remember Chris Hansen, to catch a predator, what would they always have? They'd have a girl in there that was about 19 and she would look 14, right? Why HPD and these district attorneys would use a real 14-year-old makes no sense, right? Unbelievable. So that's the first red flag in their story. Come on now. So SPM goes on to, or the court documents rather, and the girl testified that she got the number, the 14-year-old got the number out of the 19-year-old's phone. Okay. You got to remember at this time, he was famous already. His name was jumping and he was popular. So it's real believable to me that a younger girl took South Park Mexican's number out of that chick's phone trying to, get a little action. And here's where the weirdos are going to come in the comments saying, well, that 14-year-old girl, she wanted it. It ain't SPM's fault. Okay, so here's where it gets weird. And let me tell you something. It gets real weird because the girl testified that she started talking to SPM on the phone in December. Okay. December, I believe, of the year 2000. She goes to the hotel room in February 2001. Okay. The explanation that SPM has is that by that time he had gave that phone to a friend. He said them young girls kept calling, but he gave that phone to a friend. All right. They later on go to say that Dope House Records people, without specifically saying their names, went to pick up, it's got the hiccups, went to go pick up these two young girls, okay? So here's my question for you. Everybody all the weirdos, all the people in the comments are going to say, man, times are different. These young girls look older. There's girls that'll fool you. These young sluts, they dress older. I know all that stuff's coming because it's always been in comments from day one. because it came from the lie about his baby mama working in a strip club, which was not true, right? So they're going to say the same thing about this. But let me tell you what a 14-year-old girl cannot do. She can't fool you on that phone for 3 months. There is no way in hell a 14-year-old girl can talk to a 31-year-old man from December to whenever he claims he gave his phone and him not realize something's wrong. Just like it don't take you long looking at one to realize she's 14. This is why I'm telling y'all, you have to use your mind here. You have to use your common sense. You have to use your reason. Grown men in the comments, drop to me and let me know. Do you think a 14-year-old girl can hold a conversation with you for months and you wouldn't know that she was a little kid? Then drop in the comments, do you think you would not know one was a little kid when you went to go pick her up? Right? Who are these dope house associates that drove to pick up a 14-year-old girl and a 17-year-old girl? Seen these children and still put them in the car and still was like, yeah, come on, let's go. What? Who does that? How do you not look at this girl? You got to ride in the car with her, man. You got a 17-year-old, which in the state of Texas is legal, right? It's weird because all these men were in their 30s, but I guess it's illegal. But you got a 14-year-old too? This is unbelievable. And then listen, his daughter, for some strange reason, pointed out specifically on the fact of why would a 14-year-old girl ever be hanging out with a 19-year-old? That's what she said. Not thinking, we're wondering, why would a 31-year-old man, 31-year-old man be talking to a 19-year-old stripper when he's already had the pattern of young girls? He's already out on bond for a 9-year-old. He already had a 13-year-old baby mama, right? Now, at this time, his daughter is probably close to a teenager. And he's messing with a 19-year-old. Now here comes a 14-year-old, a 17-year-old. So what they're implying here is that, or what they said. Let me keep going to what they said. Okay. They said the girl had a room key that went to SPM's room. She had the room key. She had a brochure, and I think they said she had something else proving that she was there. And it was his room. And this is at the time when he's not even allowed to be around children, I believe. So it's crazy, right? So here's where it makes even less sense, okay? If this was some type of police setup, if the DA told this little girl to go do all this, all of them are out of line, because that little girl could have got assaulted. Obviously she did. She said she did, but I mean violently, right? It could have been really, really bad for her. And I don't believe they would have done it. If that would have been a police setup, she would have had a little microphone somewhere and they would have had a code word, right? As soon as SPM dropped his drawers, she'd have said the code word and the task force would have ran in. That would have been the police setup. But let me tell you something. You can't set a grown man up with a 14-year-old. You understand? You can't give a 14-year-old girl my phone number. I talked to her on the phone for more than 2-3 minutes and I'm hanging up saying something ain't right. If you wouldn't know the difference, then you're just like them. And you should probably be in protective custody sitting next to him, because a person like you is dangerous in this world. You got no common sense. You understand? Yeah. So with the fact that the cops wasn't busting in the door and she had a code word, no. It actually went down. Okay? It went down. Yeah. And here's what I feel like happened. And this is why they're now saying these girls' names and they're publishing on their platform that is filled with people that are going to be hostile. Publishing on my platform wouldn't be as bad, right? Because I know my fans know the truth. Publishing on their platform was a bad, dirty trick, and they knew what they were doing. What happened was, I feel like, and this is all pure opinion, but I'm born and raised in the streets, man. I've been in strip clubs all my life too. Yeah, that 19-year-old girl served SPM for sure. Served the undercover cop. I'm sorry, right next to SPM. Then when she realized what happened and who it was, it probably clicked in her brain. Oh, I know how to get out of this. Yeah, I'll send my little homegirl over there. Angel, thank you for that. I'll send my little homegirl over there. She can have fun with them. She'll get to sleep with somebody famous, have a story for the rest of her life, and then we'll tell on them, right? There's no way in hell that the district attorney encouraged this, knew about this, or any of that. Because listen, Chip Lewis was an attorney. He had the best attorney that he could have. He lost all appeals. I did a video about all the appeals. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. The whole Freedom X, I see in the comments, everything it said was ridiculous. It was preposterous. The entire theory that these government officials set this man up with a 14-year-old child is too unrealistic. It's not real. It wouldn't have happened. The task force would have been busting in the hotel door behind them, and it's just not realistic. Watch To Catch a Predator and see how it goes when they walk out the house and they didn't even do nothing. It's just with the intention, right? So with that being said, people are gonna believe him no matter what he says, right? So many people can't think with their own brain. They can't come to conclusions that are rational. That's the dangerous people in the society. Yeah, that's the people that need to go to jail. There's people out here that just need to be in prison. We can't end prisons, right? Do we need to make them a little bit better? Yeah. Yeah. Are there people that need to be in there for the rest of their life and the death penalty? Hell yeah. Yeah, the kid diddlers, the diaper snipers. Yeah, the toddler fondlers. Yeah, these dudes and their supporters. Because at this point now, it's understood that man is guilty, right? Notice that he totally avoided the rape charge. He will not respond. Nobody in his camp will respond to him saying that he thought he was passing all this HIV. Nobody will talk about anything but Juan Gotti and that one deal. So he said he's going to come back out with some more stuff. But guess what? We can't wait because I'm feeling like maybe somebody needs to get the sentencing transcripts, right? Because you can pull up the articles where there was 8 alleged victims and 4 testified. On the same video, while y'all are in the comments saying it went over our heads, think about this. In the same video, he goes on to talk about his baby mama with his son that was 13 when he impregnated her. We've already been there and back that she was not a dancer when he met her. He himself said they met at his friend's house, right? The little girl spending the night. He went on again in the response to say she lied about her age. Well, I tell you what, if you think anybody's playing, I dare you to get the sentencing transcripts where that girl herself testified the South Park Mexican proposed to her, asked her to marry him, and took her back and forth to junior high. When you take a child back and forth to junior high, what age is that? That's 12 and 13, 13 and 14. Hey, if she failed 2 times, the oldest she could have been was 15, and you're in your 20s doing that, yeah, you got a pattern. You got a pattern. And then what's really sad about the daughter situation is the 9-year-old victim was her friend, stayed the night there. They originally were watching movies. You know what they tried to say about that 9-year-old victim? That she made all that up and she had that dream because they were watching the movie Scream. Yeah, the movie Scream made her dream possibly that SPM did that to her. That was his defense. That was his only defense. And you know the way the trial works, right? They present their evidence, you present your side, and 12 people pick who they believe. 12 people slam dunked his guilty ass, and then he lost all appeals, right? If the man had anything else to say that would clear his name, that would free him, that would make him look innocent, he would have did it a long time ago. Why do I keep getting all these comments saying we're picking on somebody that can't defend himself when he has a bigger podcast than I do? Yeah, he's got a bigger podcast from the jail cell than I do. Think about that. Right? He ain't defenseless. Nah, he's got worldwide distribution. Gold Toes, GT Digital, that's still his homeboy. Why Northern Cal ain't putting pressure on Gold Toes about that, I don't know. Baby Bash, still promoting him, even though we know he lied so much too. Yeah, it's sick, man. This is sick. But that response he did, unrealistic. Them little girls set his ass up, and he fell for it. Yeah, that dancer got a get out of jail free card because he liked 14-year-olds. Think about that. Had he not liked 14-year-olds, it never would have worked. And yes, so I will say this, full disclosure, right? They did say that that little girl told him she was 18, and they had witnesses where the 14-year-old girl said that she was 18. Again, this is where I need your discretion as grown men, grown women. Would one be able to fool you? Right? If you even got a doubt in your brain, hey man, this no, she's not even close to 18, but she's saying she's 18. Is that okay just to ignore your first mind? When it's your kid, what would you want somebody to do? Would you want that 30-some-year-old man to verify her age? Make sure your kid ain't lying, because kids lie. Kids do stuff all the time that ain't right. But we as adults are not supposed to entertain it, indulge it, participate it, encourage it, especially not victimize them when they're doing it. Yeah, a lot of people not using their common sense, right? But I think a lot of people are okay with this because I'm realizing more and more people obviously are okay. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be nice to his fans because I know a lot of them don't understand. A lot of them have failed for the misinformation, but the ones that know, yeah, there's people out here that clearly know the facts. They know the truth and they don't care. Thank you, Gypsy. Yeah, for real, Mark. No, that's real facts, man. So I'm just wondering what's next? What's next? What's the next series? So since they play him these podcasts and he was referencing podcasters speaking on him with platforms and all that, felt like he was talking to me. I hope he was. If y'all play this for him over the phone or he got a little cell phone or whatever watching this, SPM dog, we're not fixing to get off that you said you had HIV thing. We're not going, or you thought you had it. No, we're not going to get off of that because that's one thing. Not one other podcaster will speak on, y'all. Not one podcaster yet, other than Texas Prison Stories, has spoke on him saying he thought he created his own children and molested other people's children while he was HIV positive because it's so damn unbelievable. That's why they're not doing it. It's so damn unbelievable that a man thought he had HIV while creating children he claims to love and molesting others. Who does that? Who even hears that and is still okay with that? Right? Sterlo, thank you. Gypsy, thank you. I seen that. Appreciate y'all. I'm just wired crunk because I watched this shit a couple times, and the thing that bothered me the most was the spite and how they're listing these people's names. This young girl was a victim, right? She was a child victim. I don't even know why that's not redacted or whatever, but obviously they know her name, right? Yeah, then they said something, well, if it would have been true, they would have sued. I don't think it's too late. I wouldn't dare them to. Yeah, I wouldn't dare them to, right? Keep saying that and watch Busby call them. Now you done told Busby their name. Think about that, y'all. If you don't know who Busby is, you ain't from Texas, this part anyway, right? So it's just that was crazy. I'm pretty sure 10, 15 ambulance chasers gonna be hitting them up by Monday, and they gave them the fire. But guess what? Any social medias them girls have, any type of anything is now gonna be bombed with these weird ass pedophile supporters, these free ass PM people, these death to the truth speakers. Yeah, you weirdos. All y'all, Wayne, thank you, my brother. All y'all are gonna be harassing these women now when they were straight up victims. At least one of them was. And why I say she's a victim, even though she asked for it, because that's illegal and the adult's supposed to know better, and it's wrong. Wrong, right? For his daughter to say, why is a 14-year-old hanging with a 19-year-old? but not why is my 30-something-year-old daddy hanging with a 19-year-old stripper while he's got a family. It's delusional. It's delusional. It's distractional. It's delusional. It's unbelievable. It makes no sense. Hey, Eva, I hope you've been doing fine. My friend, dang, I ain't seen you in a while. Right? It is delusional. It's insane. It's crazy. And we got to get this black eye up off of Texas, y'all. I just don't know what else to say. But if y'all think that these district attorneys, their entire point to this was that the DAs and the undercover cops sent a 14-year-old girl to go sleep with them without backup, without arresting them right there on the spot, without body recorders, evidence, people watching down the hallway. If y'all believe that on a high-profile case like this, man, I got a bridge in Tech City. I'll say you. You know what? Think about it. That's crazy. But they know y'all don't know. They know the average fan don't know, and they know the average fans don't think things true. So watching them, you'll swear it's all a setup, and it was because he was so powerful. But on the same video, they said how he's doing interviews saying he sips syrup and does drugs all day. What kind of power does he have? What kind of power does a rapper have that at that time was lucky to have $1 million in a city called Houston full of oil men? Think about that. Houston is ran by oil men, insurance companies, bank headquarters. They got the power. Yeah, a rapper that owns a little warehouse downtown, that ain't shit. These men own high-rise buildings, man. Think about it. What power? His entire listening audience was not voters. How many people you know listening to gangster rap doing drugs go vote? So when they say it's because the power and influence he wielded, what was it? To drugs? You know what I'm saying? That was his influence. That was his power. Yeah, 7 brick houses made out of wood, all that bullshit. My third wife ain't born. Yeah, he was encouraging y'all to sell drugs and mess with little kids, even though he started as a Christian rapper playing the violin. That's how gullible fans are. That's how gullible music consumers are. The dude rapped. He was a goddamn actor, right? He was a musical actor. And y'all swear it's all true. One thing he can't do, though, is lie too good. I don't know why. It's crazy. Some all that time in solitary confinement, all that protective custody time alone, making that man crazy. Making that dude crazy, man. Yeah, and they're doing more unauthorized. Look, he's probably finna catch a major case for that fucking podcast. That's how much it meant to him to come on and distort the truth and humiliate Juan Gotti. He's probably gonna catch another major case for that one. And he don't even care. Because he knows he ain't finna make that next parole either. Right? Because they know about all the victims. They know about the HIV part. They know everything. They know the shit we don't know. You know it? Yeah, it's live. For sure, Ash. What's up, neighbor? I'm just tripping on this, man. It's crazy. Mark, they can say whatever they want to say, Mark. The more they comment, the more this is in the algorithm. But the more you see, the more they drop that in there, the more you see why I do this. Because at this point, it's them that are embarrassed in Texas. Yeah. It's not SPM that's embarrassed in Texas at this point, right? It's literally the fans. Like, damn, are y'all serious right now? Y'all gonna know all this information? Y'all gonna know how much stuff went? Y'all gonna hear his own friends say, yes, he was guilty? What's it gonna take? Because I can promise you this, SPM himself, check this out, SPM himself can come out, Angel, thank you, SPM himself tonight can drop a video apologizing and saying he was guilty. And guess what? Every one of his fans are going to say he's just doing that to make parole, that he ain't guilty. Yeah, he can come out and write a 20-page confession tonight, and you cultish, obsessed, weirdo fans will say, oh, yeah, no, he didn't really write that. Or he just wrote that so he could be free. He'll come tell the truth later. You know what I'm saying? That's how brainwashed y'all are and how sick it is and how bad it embarrasses Texas. They always say, Snow, why you don't talk about Puff Daddy? But I did a Puff Daddy video. Snow, why you don't talk about Trump? Why you don't talk about this guy? Because they're not the ones embarrassing my state. Yeah, they're not the ones making Texas look like we support this BS. They're not the ones making real men in the Lone Star State scream free SPM because they don't know the truth. You know how many real men have watched my videos and got angry at themselves? Think about that, saying, man, what's up, bro? Real men have watched my videos about this dude and got angry at themselves for standing up for him so long. Yeah, that's what's really happening, right? People feel disgusted with themselves. They feel cheated. They feel tricked. They feel every disgusted because they believed it too. You know, it just is what it is, right? Maya Torres, go ahead. I don't care what you do. Double tap the screen for me though, you pedo. What do we call you? I don't know what we call a woman that would support somebody to touch little girls. What do we call them? We got to give them a name. That's a special type of woman. I feel like we got to get them. So you're a special kind of disgusting if you're a woman that supports a man that touch little girls. You're even worse than the men that do it, because men are disgusting, nasty, vile creatures when they do this shit, right? But the mom that won't even protect them from the man, man, I don't know who's worse. They're both foul. We'll put y'all this together. Same old boat. Yeah, right hand, left hand. Right? Weird. What am I calling Carly? I'm calling Carly an unfortunate victim of this whole situation because she didn't choose none of this in her life. Right? That's why I feel sorry for Carly. You better go back to my video where SPM said himself he thought he had HIV while he created Carly. And you tell me why you're going to buy merch from a man that said he had HIV or thought he had HIV while creating his children, regardless of anything else. A man that was out sleeping with fans, underage girls, strippers, getting married, having kids, that confessed to thinking he was HIV positive the whole time and never went to take a test to find out. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Ugh. Ew, that's what I say about them, huh? Hey, when we talk about SPM, the proper response nowadays is ew, gross. Man, that's wild. The link is on. It's on my channel. All you gotta go is click Texas prison stories. Go through the shorts. It says SPM's biggest secret exposed. Clipped it right there. He said it himself in the Donnie Houston interview when he totally distorted the whole story about his bond. I wouldn't make it up. Yeah, if I get on here and make something up, their lawyers will be contacting me tomorrow morning. I don't have to. It's so much about this case. There is nothing needed to be make up. And I feel sorry for his children. I really do. They've been taught only one thing. That's what Juan Gotti is scum too. But I real respect one thing he said, that he kept quiet for so long, just so the kids didn't have to hear it. I don't know if I believed him or not, but if that was true, then that's kind of respectable, I guess. Right? Clarissa, we just talked about that. How big? Why would the government be scared of SPM? Think about that. SPM's fans was young drug addicts riding around smoking weed. Yeah, SPM wasn't Martin Luther King. Y'all act like SPM was Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Cesar Chavez. Man, what are y'all talking about? He wasn't even that big. Yeah, he wasn't that big. I can name a whole bunch of rappers that was bigger than him at that time that they didn't do this too. So that don't make no sense. That just don't make no sense, right? And we just talked about that. SPM is from Houston, Texas, an oil man city. He he couldn't have scratched the oil man's ass back then or right now. Y'all ever seen that? Remember that? So the older people, remember that TV show Dallas? J.R. Ewing? Imagine them worried about SPM. Yeah, that's what's real down in Houston. Come on, man. Crazy. Unbelievable. He was going to unite all Latinos. Well, he ain't done it. Instead, he embarrassed all Latinos. That's what he did. He embarrassed our entire state, all Latinos. He was repping Mexican in his name and ended up being a multiple serial pedophile. Unbelievable. And the fact that y'all are even ever okay with him getting a 13-year-old woman, 13-year-old girl pregnant, proposing to her, taking her back and forth to school. Yeah, the fact that that's one strike you're out, right? One strike you're out on that, man. I don't know why y'all let him make it on everything else. It's extremely weird. Out there in the comments right now defeating them. Clarissa, I suggest you type in SPM exposed on YouTube. We've been through that. He wasn't set up. You can't set a grown man with morals up with a child, right? You can't put a crack pipe and some crack on this table right now. I smoke it, and then you tell me I tell you I got set up. Think about that. You can't put a gun on my table. I kill somebody that's outside, and I say I got set up. Yeah, that's how he got set up, right? Just him being around young children, he calls being set up because he's minor attracted. You know what minor attracted means? And that don't never go away. See, there's almost all crimes can be rehabilitated. Almost all criminals, almost all of them can be rehabilitated. But one thing that can never change is your sexual orientation or desire, right? A straight man can never turn gay. A gay man can never turn straight. Some man that likes real women can never be attracted to children. And somebody that is attracted to children can never be attracted to grown women. Think about it. They ain't changing that. Yeah, there is no there's no rehabilitation on that. And why y'all want to free them? Y'all need to be in there with them. Every person that keeps saying they need to be in there with them. Yeah, yeah, Clarissa, you probably just wasn't his type. Sorry. You were too old. You said you met him when you were 15. Yeah, you about 2 years too old. He likes him from the 9 to 14 range, right? You was too old. We just talked about that too. JoJo, salute. People weird, man. Y'all drop your location in the chat, please. Let me see where you coming from. Drop your location, drop your city, drop your state, drop your country, wherever you at. Uh, Whatever, man. Double tap the screen for me. Let's get this in the algorithm. Yeah, yeah, 9 to 14. That's in there. 14, multiple 14. Unbelievable. So when everybody keeps saying SPM was set up, y'all do realize he went through a long, lengthy trial with the best legal team money can buy, right? Normally when somebody's set up, you set up somebody poor. You ain't setting up millionaires. Yeah, because they can fight back. Y'all do realize that he lost all appeals, right? Durst, what's up? Salute to Rock Force. When somebody loses all appeals, that means they've tried multiple times. They spent much money on a whole other legal team, legal precedent, and took years to think of any loophole, any legal loophole, anything that they did wrong in that trial, any bit of evidence that was misrepresented, any of that, right? You do realize that he lost all appeals also. This wasn't a one and done. Now, SPM wasn't the average inmate that got convicted and couldn't afford appeals. Mm-mm. He was also them all and he lost them all. Point blank, period. So why y'all keep thinking of that is crazy, right? It's crazy. So check this out. I'm gonna slide up out of here, y'all. I appreciate that. Listen, let me shout out everybody. Angel, look at this. Angel, Gypsy, thank you, ma'am. You always showing love. Sturlo, first time seeing your name. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. This is Texas Prison Stories, but at the same time, it is one of my hobbies, taking this black eye up off of our state, right? I'm a long-time truck driver. I can weld good. Yeah, everything in my life is straight right now. I'm living good. and I don't mind doing this. It's something that Texas needed to be done, and it's gonna continue. I'm sorry if y'all don't like it. Better get with the program. I'll catch y'all later. Texas Prison Story family, salute.